Welcome to Inspired Women, Amazing Lives podcast, where we seek to thrive, flourish, and celebrate amazing women. I am Kimberly Wiggins, and this is our special segment of the Inspired Women, Amazing Lives podcast, where we are having live coaching sessions with real business owners and real coaches to demonstrate the power of mindset and marketing for your business success. Our Marriage of Mindset and Marketing segment is meant to provide assistance for women so that they may get advice, tips, and insights for handling similar issues in their own businesses. We host the Marriage of Mindset and Marketing segment the second and fourth Wednesday of every month. Remember to like, comment, and most definitely share these episodes with another woman that you admire and one who truly inspires you. Or simply share with someone that you would like to inspire. Remember, make a choice. Be a voice. Be an inspiration. Enjoy. Welcome to this edition of Inspired Women, Amazing Lives podcast. And this is my special segment on the marriage of mindset and marketing. And I have a really good treat for you today. It's a service-based business, and I think you really enjoy this. But before we get going, I just want to give a brief outline of what this show is about. The special segment is really about giving back. We have coaches who've given their time graciously to be able to coach a business owner around some mindset and marketing issues. And the importance of that is marketing without mindset and mindset without marketing leaves a business deficient. They're both as essential, one as essential as the other. I can't talk today. It's the holidays, that's why. But so that's why I do this special segment. I hope you enjoy it. And so let's get started. So our business owner today is Lindsey Cowen. She is one half, I guess, of a husband and wife portrait and wedding photography team, specializing in transformational women's portraits. And she's located right here in Georgia with me. Welcome, Lindsey.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So Lindsey, let's start off, and I will introduce our other guest in a minute, but let's start off by having you share with our audience what it is that you do in your business specifically, what brought you to doing this business, especially, I'm excited to hear about this husband and wife dynamic, who your target audience is and what problem you solve for them.
So basically, we started out shooting weddings like 14 years ago, actually. My husband was actually like the main photographer. That was his passion and his joy. And then it was my passion and joy to like see his talent kind of come out and everything like that. I loved being there alongside of him. I love being able to interact. Like, I'm more of the people person. And so I love all the interactions and all the things that happen in that. And at the time, we had just gotten married ourselves. All of our friends were getting married. It was just kind of like we were in that season and in that time. And like, it was really fun. It was really good. But then, like, eventually, like, kind of the 2008 housing crisis hit, and it hit Kenosha, Wisconsin, where we were living really hard, actually harder. It never recovered, really. There was a big Chrysler plant that was in the middle of town, and it shut down. Like, it went from paying all of its employees, like thousands of employees, like $50 an hour, to suddenly that became a flat level 1 mile piece of concrete. Like, it was just crazy. That was all that was there. And a lot of the money that people were making, like photography sometimes is a luxury item. And like the money just wasn't there. And so we were just trying to figure out, like, how do we do this? What do we do? I'm from Atlanta originally. And so we ended up moving down to Georgia in 2015. And like, because we would come down here to Georgia and we would see, like, whereas in Wisconsin, everything was kind of shriveling and like dying off, everything in Georgia was like springing up and like flourishing. And so we're like, okay, we need to be here. We need to be a part of this. But the problem is that we had never really, we were in a small town, and so we'd never learned marketing. We were okay at sales, but it was more like, hey, this is what we do. Don't you want to join us? Okay, cool. Like, we didn't do, like, there was never any kind of high pressure sales, never any kind of anything. It was just kind of like, okay, we told a whole bunch of stories about weddings that we had done, and we're like, okay, so this is what we do, and don't you want to be a part of this? Don't you want to hang out with us? And like, everybody's like, yes. But then we came down here to Georgia, and suddenly the market's totally different. Nobody knows who we are. Like, everything was completely and totally like, we just had to start over from the beginning, from scratch, and like figure out, okay, what is it that we want to do? How is it that we want to do this? And in the process, we realized that with like 4 kids and like a marriage and like whatever, like, it was just, we weren't in that same mindset and that same thought space as we were back when we first got married and we're shooting these weddings. It just became more of like, it became more of a task. Okay, yes, we can shoot your wedding. Okay, what about this? What about this? And it became much more like task oriented than it did like experience oriented. But at the same time, we realized that what we love more than anything else is interacting with people, is getting into their level and getting down to their level and really just understanding who they are and being able to explore that aspect. And that's when we started it just kind of for fun more than anything else, shooting these women's portraits. And the more that we did it, the more that we realized this is actually what we love doing. And the more that we did it, the more that we just started pouring into them and loving on them and affirming them and showing them who they are. And then we were like, okay, I know what you see in the mirror, but this is who you really are. Like, for real, let me show you how gorgeous you are. Let me show you your true beauty, your true worth. Like, let me show you all of this. And like, it reaches so much more broader than like the 20 something that's getting married right now. And that's one day in their life, versus like at any stage in any woman's life, we can actually photograph them and be able to do these portraits. And so we're offering more and more of the sessions, but we're trying to kind of figure out, like, okay, so how does this work from a business perspective, and how do we really do it, and all that kind of stuff. So I guess that's the best way to do it. But I don't know, the lives and the stories and the people that we've been able to impact has been amazing. And like, we've had people like just crying and cracking up laughing and everything in between. Like, it's a really transformational like experience that we're able to give them and everything. So yeah.
Nice. Wow. The greatest thing, Lindsey, is all that passion I hear in you.
Yes.
It's like contagious. And I'm sitting here, I'm making notes, and I'm thinking of things that I want to do with Lindsey. I definitely want you taking my picture. You're local. I absolutely love what you said about, and I want you to think about that. And I may be jumping the gun here. Sorry, I'm not the mindset and marketing coach, but your unique position is your ability to make people see their self-worth.
Yes.
Because
exactly.
Just look at Sheila. Sheila's like, because you know what? I have never had a photography session where someone kind of projected that on me, or I've never had that, and I've had a ton of them. So, okay, so I'm sorry. But that was amazing. Thank you so much, Lindsey. Okay, so I got to pause for the cause right here. We'll be right back after a short break, commercial break, and find out what Lindsey is dealing with specifically with her mindset and her marketing, and have our coaches coach her. We'll be right back. Are you sick and tired of making plans that never get finished? Hey, Kimberly Wiggins with Inspired Women, Amazing Lives here. When you look back and see so many unfinished projects, do you wonder if the future will ever be different? Newsflash: same actions will get you same results. Now, I know you are amazing at starting. Now you just have to get as good at finishing. You with me? Are you ready to move from starter to finisher? I'm offering the opportunity to finish off your year or start a new one like never before, so you can look back and finally see the results you really want. Not another year of woulda, shoulda, coulda. If you're willing to devote yourself to at least 10 hours of nose to the grindstone, laser beam focused, butt kicking action to your business dreams, I stand ready to provide you with the kind of radical support that will make all the difference. Check out my 30-day dash radical accountability program at inspiredwomenamazinglives.com. That's my 30-day dash. Let's shift things for your life and business. Mention that you heard this ad on my podcast for 50% off. Yes, 50% off the 30-day dash radical accountability program. Okay, we're back. All right, so Lindsey has been dealing with some mindset struggles, and we'll talk about those first. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that Lindsey has said is, and I love this, when I first started reading this, I was like, is she asking me questions? But this is what her mind is telling her. Will this next promotion work, or are we just wasting our money? People are contacting us, and if we don't give them lower prices, they won't pay, and then we will lose out on money. Some money is better than no money, right? We have to keep working our side jobs in order to make bills. Our photography business will never be profitable again. These are the lies that I hear. I know they aren't reality. That was really good, because that gave me I was like, oh, wow. She pulled back the curtain there and let me look in her brain. But that's what your mind, that's those little gremlins sitting on your shoulder talking to you, huh? So, exactly. They're awful. So let me introduce our mindset coach, Miss Lanisha Holland. She is your favorite mompreneur and lifestyle coach for moms that boss. She teaches moms how to create the life they want by focusing on their mind, body, business, and bank account. Ooh, I like that. Welcome, Lanisha.
Hello, and thanks, Kim, for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
You are so welcome. Now, before I let you address that, Lanisha, let me introduce our marketing coach as well. Our marketing coach today is Miss Sheila J. Davis, and she's a speaker, trainer, and podcaster. She's the creator of Lock and Load Marketing, a digital marketing agency, and the Messy Back End podcast, where experts share expert advice on all of the messy stuff that goes on in the back end of entrepreneurship. Sheila's expertise is working with entrepreneurs on their back ends, starting off with an audit of their business. She then helps them build an income generating business that's automated so they can live a life, enjoy family, and serve their purpose. Welcome, Sheila. Great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Kimberly.
You are so welcome. Now, Lanisha, if you would, go ahead, and I'm going to give you and Lindsey the floor there so you can really talk about the things around our mindset and what recommendations you have for her business.
Okay, perfect. So Lindsey, first I want to ask you a question because you mentioned that your target audience right now are women who you're trying to get them to see the value in themselves, their beauty, and bring that through your photography, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So with that being said, you are, based off of the answers to your questions that you had, you are missing the value in what it is that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So you are trying to build these women up. You have to also build yourself up as well.
That's true.
You are nickel and diming yourself. And that is why you're struggling, because you're attracting the wrong type of client, pretty much. Because you're in a saturated market right now where you are. So you have to make, because I don't want to get into the Sheila's thing with the marketing whatsoever, but you have to start letting people know the benefits of working with you, the benefits of the benefits. So you have to get yourself in the right mindset so that you can express the benefits of your business to these clients and make them want to work with you. Because at the end of the day, if people want what you have, they will kick out the money for it. There are photographers out there that charge thousands of dollars just to take someone's picture. If you decide that's the type of prices that you want to charge, you will find those types of clients. You just have to be in the right mindset to start attracting those types of clients. So what exactly is it that you're telling your clients when you're having these conversations? Like, what kind of mindset are you in when you're trying to get them to realize the benefits of working with you? Like, do you believe what you're saying to them?
Yes. So we believe it 100% when we're walking in, and when we're talking to them. Sorry, I have a 6-month 3-year-old coming in, wanting to cuddle for a little bit. But yeah. So yeah, when we're talking to them, when we're explaining our sessions, when we're explaining like what it is that we do throughout the entire session, like it's all super amazing, super positive. Like we are telling them and they're like, yes, I want this. This is amazing. And then we kind of send them like, okay, so our starting prices are like $175 per image and $12.50 for so our sessions start at $12.50. And they're like, okay, no, that makes sense, you know, and whatever. But I think like sometimes we're like, but we're going to give you $100 towards that. And you don't have to pay your session fee. And, you know, whatever, you know what I mean? And like, we end up, and then like earlier today, we were talking with a person, showing them their photos. And like, I was like, well, one of the things that we can do is we can find out, like, we can set up a payment plan for you or something like that. She didn't have the money to pay like today. And Brian, my husband, he was like, well, we don't want you to have to take out a credit card to do this. Like, we don't want you to go into debt. And I'm like, right.
No.
Wait, let's just kind of let her know. Like, hold on, you know. And so sometimes like it's like I'm really good and I'll build myself up, but then sometimes Brian, my husband, will like he's more of the creative and everything like that, and like yeah, he'll negate sometimes what happens too. So I'm like, no, you know,
okay,
that thing, if that makes sense.
So you both are going in with the mindset of, we don't want to lose this sale, so exactly. We're going to try to do everything possible to save it. Yeah. Now, do you take the pictures first and then get them to pick a package? Is that how it works, or do they have to put it on a deposit or anything?
So with this last promotion that we did, it was like 100% on the back end. So like we didn't charge a session fee. We waived that and gave them $100 towards their towards their portraits, but then like it was a lot higher per image, like 175 per image kind of thing. And so if they wanted any of their photos, then they would need to purchase them. And like they didn't get any without actually paying. And so like it's a business model, it's called IPS, or like in-person sales. And it's been proven with photographers to kind of yield a higher result in the end. But I know that like we need to charge a session fee. It's just a matter of like this aspect of this business model that we're using is so new that we're just kind of like, okay, so how do we do this? You know, if that makes sense.
Oh.
How do we actually get them to pay? So
okay, so it's not a matter of how do we get them to pay. You have to also make sure that going into things that your client knows that they're going to pull out a credit card at the end of their session. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're not going to just take pictures, have you look through them and say, okay, I like these, maybe I'll buy them. No, you have to already put them in the mindset that before this session even happens, they're paying for something today. Whether it is they're purchasing the entire package that they're going to get, or if you have payment options, but you don't want to give them, have them in the mindset that they have a choice.
Yeah. No, it totally makes sense.
So that is where everything goes back to mindset. There is an art to sales, and you have to go into when you're dealing with your clients assuming that they are already going to buy, and that will drive the type of language and the type of conversation that you're having with them.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense.
And tell your husband to stop it with the, I don't want you to whip out your credit card. No, you're going to whip out your credit card because I don't want to have to whip out my credit card to put myself in debt. Even more because I can't pay my bill. So tell him to next time.
Yeah, Lindsey, make him watch this podcast.
Yes, I will.
Yes. So your mindset is going to control the type of language that you're going to have. So you have to be mindful of the type of words that you're using. Don't use doubt words when you're dealing with your clients whatsoever. You want to make sure that all of your language is assuming the sale already.
Right.
Everything that you're saying to them is closing the deal, so that when things are all said and done, they're already expecting that they're paying you something that day.
Yeah.
Before they even walk out the door.
Yeah.
No more free sessions, basically.
No, it totally makes sense. It's like, okay, so this is for Brian, this is kind of what it is. He would totally do this for free. He loves doing this. Like I do too. Like we absolutely love just pouring into the women and doing whatever it is. Like, let's just show you how gorgeous you are. Let's just have fun and hang out. And oh, by the way, we're taking photos, but whatever. Like, and so like for us, like it's something that comes so easily to us and something that comes so effortlessly that we're like, why, like in our minds, we're like, well, why would somebody pay like $1,000 or, you know, a couple $1,000s for this? Like, it's so easy. But at the same time, we know that what we're doing is so valuable and so worth it. And it's just like we go back and forth. It's kind of like the devil on each, you know, the devil and the angel on each shoulder. Like you've got like these lies coming in here, but then we're like, but no, this is how it is, you know? And so we kind of go back and forth. Like, no, we're worth it. We know that we need to do this, but are you sure? Like, I know I don't have the money right now to do this. So why would you pay for it? Whatever, you know? So these are the things that go through our heads, you know what I mean? So.
All right. So it's time to start having better conversations with yourself. Remember, the words that you speak to yourself, the words that you speak out loud, all of that is going to drive your actions. And your action is what's going to lead you to your results. So if what you're saying to yourself isn't in line with the end result that you want to have, you've got to change it up.
Yeah. No, it makes sense for sure.
All
and
right.
we're doing it slowly but surely.
And I absolutely love that. I'll tell you. And he is fat. He looks like he's fast asleep, Lindsey.
Yes, he is. He fell back asleep.
Oh my gosh.
He just wanted to fall back asleep on me. So.
Oh my gosh. So this is what I I was thinking about, Lanisha, when you were talking to Lindsey about that. You were saying about the confidence thing, and Lindsey was talking about we could do this for free. Man, I would love to have a photographer that vested that much in me. Normally, I tell you, I've had tons of these sessions. They come in, they want to take the pictures, they want you to go. And so someone that says, I already think that I'm the ish when I get there anyway, because I'm having my photos taken. It's all about me, right? But when you really make me feel like the ish, oh my gosh, then all of my personality and all of my confidence and who I am comes out in those photos. And those are the things that people see when they look at my pictures on my site, on my sales pages. They see me, and you're going to help me make that come out. It is darn well worth $1,200.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. You got to paint that picture. It's all about painting that picture. For example, I am doing an event where I'm going to actually have a photographer take pictures of my guests, but it's going to be on a beach. But it's not going to just be pictures. Like, this is a whole experience. You have to make it an entire experience, so that way they feel even more inspired to actually make the purchase, because they felt so wonderful. They think that they look beautiful. Not that they think that they look beautiful, but you've captured that essence of them, that they want to keep it.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're worth it. Let them know that they are worth it. They are worth these pictures.
Yeah. I might even put that in, because I've got like a series of follow-up emails, kind of like, that was so amazing. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Like, that's one of the things. Oh my goodness. You should see your photos. They are crazy good, because they always are. You know what I mean? But like, that's like in our language. And I think I might put like, here's our, like, and then I give a link to like our prices and everything. Just as a reminder, here's our prices. We're kind of like, here you go, but like, just know that you're worth it. Like, just put that in there, like, you are worth this so much. You are so gorgeous and so wonderful and so worth every single bit of it. So yeah, I might actually put that into even like our languaging that we use. So yeah, I love that.
Also, what do you, like, your friends, what do you think your friends are going to say when they see these? Like, everyone wants everyone to tell them that they're beautiful. Like, your friends are going to go crazy. Your clients are going to go crazy when they see your wonderful picture up on your website, or your headshot, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
totally.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for that, Lanisha. And maybe Lindsey, you can reach back out to Lanisha, and she can give you some tools to use so you can change the way you speak to yourself, and you can share those tools with your husband so that he will be able to do that as well. So before we move on to any marketing struggles, Sheila, is there anything that you would like to add?
I think having a relationship with your husband in person and in business is very difficult. So I admire you for doing that. There's not many women who could pull that off, or men, I guess, who could pull that off. I think the main thing is that the both of you have the same goal, and you just decide with every decision, we have the same goal, and let's go out and make that happen. You've got the energy to do it, and so just go out there and be yourself, and I think you're going to do great.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, awesome. So we're going to move on. We're going to talk about Lindsey's marketing challenges. So basically, what Lindsey is dealing with marketing struggles, and it falls right in line with her mindset struggles, is finding the right ads that will actually bring in the right people. Sometimes it works, and when it does, it feels like a fluke. I want to consistently bring in leads instead of fire hose or trickle. It's like feast or famine, right? And so Lindsey really wants to be able to use ads that work. So Sheila, take it away. Help her with that.
You bet. So I actually took a look at the ads that you're running right now. And marketing is my jam. Specifically, Facebook marketing, advertising is really not. So here's what I did for you. I contacted a friend of mine. Her name is Tracy Reuter. She runs the business of Divine Social. She only works with businesses who are spending $3,000 a month or more. But she did for you what she would do for them, which is free analysis of your business ads. And then I actually have 2 pages of ideas for you. Outside of the ads. I don't tell the people I date this, but I'm cheap and easy. If there's a cheaper way to do it, I can show you. If there's an easier way to do it, I can show you. And so that's kind of how I like to run things. But what Tracy did when she looked at your ads is that she made the suggestion, and I agree with all of these suggestions, is that video is king, correct?
Yes.
You guys make amazing videos. You've got some videos right now that say, here's your invitation, right? Mm-hmm. So what both of us suggest is that you put your video as your initial Facebook ad. And so the video is going to draw in their attention, and then you're going to give them a soft ask. Come check out our blog, check out our packages, take a look at the last photos that we did. But that video will convert. We can almost guarantee you. Matter of fact, I was surprised when Tracy said such a high number. She gave me a very high percentage of the chance that that video might work for you. And so you're going to do that soft ask. The situation with marketing right now is that we all, I know I'm the oldest one here probably, but when I was little, my circle was as big as my hometown, my family, my friends, my school, my church, right? Then social media happened, and all of a sudden the world is everywhere. Now people are going back and they want something specific, they want something more personal, and they're not willing to give out information or even click on things anymore as easily as they could before. You're looking at 13 touches before someone's going to be coming into your circle unless you do it right. So your videos will do that. The good news is your video's already done. The next thing you want to do is just change up the wording just a little bit. I wrote some notes while you were doing this, while you were talking about this. One of the things you said, I know what you think you see in the mirror. Here's what we see. Mm-hmm. That's a powerful statement. We all look in the mirror and think, oh my gosh, am I going to go out in public like this? You know what I mean? And then personally, I have a fantastic photographer, so I'm going to use her as an example, because when she took me out and did my photo shoot and I got the pictures back, I cried. I'm like, did you edit these? Because this is not me. You know, I felt like a rock star. She made me look like I was on the front of a magazine. That's what you can do too. Exactly. And the other thing you said is we can show you from the inside out. Yeah. We know we're good on the inside. We won't come out and say it, but we know on the inside, especially entrepreneur women, because we want to change the world and we want to make it a better place. If you can show that on the outside, which is my photographer is able to do, and I know that you can do because I've seen you do it as well, showing my heart and making me look better because of that, that's where your specialty is. So your verbiage can be something like this. Have you ever found yourself sitting and staring at your girlfriend's amazing photo shoot that she just had on her website and wondering why your photos don't look like that? Mm-hmm. Right? So you need to touch them on an emotional level. And your Facebook ads, by doing that, showing them the video, I would suggest with your B-roll, not just showing solid still shots, but also showing video of you. You know, I saw a picture of your husband. I think he was sitting on an ottoman or kneeling down in front of a gal, and he was coaching her. And she was, you could see how relaxed she was. If that was a video, that's awesome. They can see how gentle you are and how you bring them out so that you are showing their inside, not their outside. Because you know how we all are when we get in front of a camera, we're like, ooh, don't take the picture. You know what I mean? Is my hair right? Is this right? And everything doesn't have to be perfect, does it? I mean, for me, the marketing strategies that I build for people, especially mompreneurs, is other moms want to see you as a mom. Right. They don't want to always see you 100% perfect. So showing those, you know, the steps that they're getting before they do the pictures will show them the experience, and that's what you want to sell. You want to sell them looking like they are from the inside out and the experience they're going to have with you. Yeah,
definitely. No, it totally makes sense, for sure.
Yeah, instead of sending them straight to buy my program, buy my pictures.
Yes.
Right?
No, totally.
So,
yeah, I mean, we've had like decent, like exposure when we've run the video ads, but zero conversions from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing is we're like, okay, that's great. So we're putting all this money out and putting all this, raising awareness, but like not actually like seeing any return from it. We're like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you ran the Facebook ad, did you run it to a specific area, a specific target, or did you run it as a general? Like, what was your specific target that you had?
So our specific target was women aged 25 to 45 within 25 miles of Kennesaw, Georgia, where we live. So, and then we put a few other like lower qualifying things with it. But for the most part, I'm trying to figure that out is like, should I make it like super layers of focus, which means that it doesn't get shown to enough people? Or do I make it broad in general because it is a local service and things like that? I don't know. That's kind of one of those things. When we were doing our wedding ads and like an engagement session giveaway, like it was super high converting, it worked really well, but then it didn't end up like they didn't end up purchasing the wedding. They just went with a free engagement session and then chose a different photographer. So we're like, okay, that doesn't work exactly, but I'm just trying to figure out like the best way to target them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So one of the number one things you want to do when you're targeting people, and I in my podcast, The Messy Backend, we record 10 episodes once a month, and it's funny how everybody has a different topic, but everybody this last week had the same theme. When you're targeting people, make sure you're targeting people who have money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
And, top 10%.
We don't think about that.
Yeah. Top 10% of income earners. That was one of the qualifying factors that I put in there. So
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You want to be careful not to go too specific so that you aren't reaching enough people. But then you want to make sure you're not going too broad, right? So that is a really fine thing. And a good idea is to run a couple of ads and see how they're working, and then start figuring out what is working in each one and just tweak it as you go. I mean, I know my Facebook ads gal, they tweak ads every single week. So you want to just keep an eye on it and see what's going on with it, and make sure you are targeting people who have the money to hire you. And one of the ways you do that is through the way you present yourself, right? So one of the things I actually noticed, and I know this is outside of Facebook ads, so if this is more than you want to hear, you just tell me. But you and Brian are phenomenal, hilarious, bright, energetic people, right? And your advertisements all seem to be a little bit more subtle than that.
Yeah.
So your brand and what you're marketing are separate messages. They're very different from each other. The brand that you have is very different from the message you're sending. So you want to make sure that you're super specific about your messaging in everything that you do. Make sure that, here's the deal with offering free stuff to people. When you offer free stuff to people, the only people you're going to get are the people who want free stuff. Right. So I wouldn't ever recommend offering free things to people just because, like you've seen the experience, you've had the experience, right? And then just make sure that you're targeting your specific people. So Steve Jobs actually said, master the topic, the message, and the delivery. And the three of those things in your brand across all of your platforms don't seem to be jiving together.
Right.
And so I think if you can do that in your videos, there's not much calls to action. So make sure that you're telling them, hey, come see what we're doing. Another suggestion, like I said, I'm cheap and easy. Let me give you some free ideas. Okay, because I don't run Facebook ads myself. I know, like, a marketer who doesn't run Facebook ads. For me, I found that there's a lot easier ways, a lot more fun ways. And like I said, I'm really not a huge fan of Facebook ads. They work for a lot of people and they're awesome. But in your personal situation, after reading your bio and all of the questions that you asked, let me give you a couple little suggestions. You live in a smaller town, correct?
Yes, I mean it's a suburb of Atlanta. So, but the actual town itself is like under 100,000, but it's surrounded by a bunch of like bigger towns, if that makes sense. But we're kind of like about half an hour outside of Atlanta.
Okay, then I would be marketing in Atlanta too.
Yeah.
If you're a half an hour.
Yeah.
Do some Peachtree Streets and get on that. That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
So one of the things you could do, and I learned this from actually from another podcaster. She used to have this huge podcast, and then she moved to this tiny little town that has like 500 people, and her podcast only talks about that tiny little town. She has the sheriff come in, the librarian come in, and her podcast is huge, national podcast.
Yeah.
And she talks about 500 people, right? So what if when you're out and about, let's say you're going out to pick up your kids from school or you're going out to the park for a walk, you take your camera and you shoot some pictures and start posting about those kind of things too. If you make some of your marketing about the people in your town, that, so you guys are fun and exciting, and what you're promoting is serious, right?
It's okay. So I am decent on the camera. Brian gets in front of the camera and he's like, "So,
you got to catch the candid stuff. You got to use your phone. It doesn't matter." I have a photographer friend who only uses his phone when he goes out in public. I know a very top video marketer that she does all of her video commercials with her phone. Take some shots of him down playing with the kids and be like, when we're not shooting photography, this is what we're doing. A couple of things I did was looked at your competitors. There's two ways you can go as a photographer, right? You can only show the things that you're taking pictures of, the people, the different scenes that you're doing pictures of, or you can promote yourself and your business. So in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, with your brand, because of who you are, because of the type of people you are, because of the fact that you are bringing out the real person that you're taking the pictures of, because you are working with female entrepreneurs who are parents themselves, I think if you guys promote yourselves as much as you promote those photo shoots, and then have you ever seen those cookie videos? Where they make cookies and you're like, dang, I can never do that. But they're decorating cookies, right? Do video of you guys doing photo shoots. So you do a little clip of the video and you're like, hey, this is who we were working with today. And then a couple of the best shots from that video that shows you guys personally and not just the still pictures. Your portraits are amazing, but they don't really show the personality of what you all can do. You guys need to set yourself and be different from what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. And a lot of times, I guess the thing that we run into is how to get both of us, because like typically what it is that like I can get behind the scenes photos or video of Brian, or he can get it of me, but like the two of us working together, like sometimes is a little bit harder, because like it's typically like I'm like he's taking the photo and I'm like back here coaching and encouraging and letting them know how gorgeous they are, and like, I just saw that picture. It was so gorgeous. Okay, Brian, you got to show her, that kind of thing. Yeah. We're like, but yeah, so how do you get that in a video? I guess we'll just have to, whatever.
The good news is the name of your business is Brian plus Lindsey. And you can just shoot you separately. You don't have to be together all the time. That's right? True. You're attracting female entrepreneurs. Chances are they're going to actually want to see more photos of you than they do of Brian. Not that he's a not attractive young man,
right?
But they want to know, how is this other entrepreneur doing her business, and how is she growing, and how can she help me? And then, like I said, that picture of Brian kneeling down and coaching that one gal, that was just such a tender moment. I think those type of pictures are showing who you guys really are. And like I said, the pictures I see on all of your platforms are very, I don't know how to say it. They just don't have the same personality that you all do. And it's hard to explain over a podcast, you know what I mean? And so I think if you guys just fun it up a little bit, I'm not sure, maybe you can tell me this, but why don't photographers put their branding on the pictures that they put on social? Is there a reason for that?
It's more than anything, it's just because it takes away from the image, and it kind of ends up like it's something that like photographers do a lot of times, if that makes sense. Like it's one of those things where it's like you don't want to, like, if the client owns the image or whatever, like you don't want to do that, but then in general it cheapens it, and it takes away in a lot of ways, like from like when we put a watermark on it.
Right. I have seen some top professional marketers who have fun little brands like you do, and they'll just do a very simple black or white You know, the other thing I noticed on a lot of your social is you don't have links to your website
Right.
in the social. You're not using a lot of hashtags on Instagram. There's a lot of really small things that you could do outside of Facebook ads to really kickstart some things. Even looking at working with charities, you know, hey, we're going to do a free shoot at a charity. And then, you know, say if somebody comes up to you and says, can you take a shot of my family? You're like, sure, $10. There's nothing wrong with that. And that gets you out there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things you could do. Your poor little guy.
I know. Sorry.
Yes, our little Batman here. I love him. You can tell this is a family show, and we love it. Lindsey, Sheila mentioned some things, and I know quite a bit of coaches here in the Atlanta area who you could do some joint vendor stuff with. Marie Fertoni has a huge networking group here. She does so much offline stuff that she almost doesn't like doing the online stuff, but she does offline and online, and she does amazing stuff here. And those are some things you could probably JV with to get your brand out there a little bit more locally.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I need to send you my 2-page list of ideas for you. A lot of them do include like JV partners, marketing partners, referrals, contest giveaway, Google Business if you're not on there, local business directories, local business networking. I know we have some local business networking opportunities where if a photographer came and was shooting pictures during that, a lot of people would probably go up and just hire them. You know what I mean?
Right.
One of the things too is to target entrepreneurs who are coaches of coaches.
Yep.
Right. So those are the higher people, and I would do some direct phone calls. Hey, have you got an event coming up local? There's a ton of events in Atlanta. I know for sure is like the hub of the world. Yes. And hey, I'll shoot your entire event for free if you'll let me advertise. That's not saying you didn't say anything about I'll give those pictures to you. I'll shoot the pictures for you, and then maybe you work a deal after and use what Lanisha said is use your, hey, well, yeah, these are amazing shots. There's going to be X number of dollars for me to print them. You know what I mean? If you want a digital copy, it'll be, this other price or whatever.
Right.
But partnering up and doing like TV spots or any kind of press that you can get, doing other blog, writing on other coaches who coaches blogs, right? So that you're reaching all of their audience as well. There's like a million things that you could do. The first thing though would be to clean up your message and make sure your message is really specific. Also on your website, there's like, it loads really slow. 8 seconds per page. Your About Me page is 40 seconds.
Yeah, so we paid somebody to do our website for us. First time that we've ever done it, and he asked us to resize the images and gave us very specific dimensions on it and everything like that. I gave him all of that, and I don't think that he actually did it.
Flipped him out.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the issue, and so it's a matter of going through and basically me having to manually re-upload everything and all that kind of stuff, and it's just more time and effort than I have had lately.
Or find a website developer close to you who needs some photos and do a little trade. I believe in trading as long as the guidelines are very specific and very clear.
Yeah, so bartering is huge, and I love it, and people sleep on it because they feel like it's like saying they're less than or something. That's crazy. Definitely do some bartering. I love it, especially for small businesses who do not have a team. Or you can't afford to hire like a virtual assistant or something. Bartering is huge, so don't sleep on that. And I think Sheila gave you Sheila's got 2 pages of notes for you. And that's amazing. And the beauty of all of this, I think, Lindsey, everything that Sheila and Lanisha is trying to give you is, I think, especially when Sheila is talking about all these different things you can do, is that you and Brian have an amazing personality. And if you can get your personality out there, it's a win. But we can't see your personality with what what we're seeing right now. And I think that's important.
Yeah, Robert Rose, who's the Chief Strategy Officer for the Content Advisory, said marketing is telling the world you're a rock star. Content marketing is showing the world you're one. So shift up that blog and make those stories about your clients.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. You got this, girl. You're going to be amazing. You're like this close. You're like this. The cool thing is you've got the skills, you've got the talents, you know how to do it. Tiny little tweaks, seriously, will get you out of that spot you're in.
Yeah, no.
And before you have talks with clients, you and Brian stand in the mirror and talk about how much you're going to charge, but look at yourself in the mirror so that when Brian gets in the front of the client, he doesn't start saying, don't pull out your credit card. He can say, we are charging this. That's it. And then be quiet.
Yes.
Yes, don't lead with the price. Lead with the experience so they have no choice but to buy.
Yes.
That's right. Very nice. Oh my gosh. I know. You ladies gave so much information today. I so appreciate it. Lindsey, you've got a lot of work to do based on all the information you got today, but that's okay. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You just take one thing and you just start working through it. And I think you will see that your business will start to really, really turn around and really get the results that you want. And definitely I'll share, of course, Lanisha's on the podcast page. Everybody's information will be there. Sheila's, Lanisha's, yours. And I will definitely you'll be able to reach out to the both of them personally with any additional questions or concerns or anything they can help you with. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Ooh, I love it, love it, love it. All right. Well, anything you'd like to add, Lanisha?
Yes, there was actually one thing that Sheila said that kind of started my mind racing. She mentioned about giving free stuff, you're going to attract people that only want free stuff, right? So that goes back to knowing the value of the services that you're offering and knowing that you don't want to attract those types of clients. So you have to change the vibe that you're sending out. I don't want clients that want free stuff. I want clients that are going to pay, right?
Yeah.
And you have to really hone in on the type of client that you want to attract at the income level that you want them to be at. So you can weed out all of those people that just want a quick little free session and then you've just wasted your time because now they're going to go off and spend probably more money with a different photographer instead of going with you because you offered them a free session and now they don't value you. They don't value what it is that you have to offer. They value this person over here that's probably paying more. Like, what is the reason that we buy a Louis Vuitton bag? We don't buy it because it's expensive. We buy it because people with money typically buy those types of bags. We buy them because of the social status it quote unquote gives us. But it's also a great bag. It's great quality, but that's not why you're buying it because there's lots of other bags that are way cheaper that are great quality. You're buying the status. So that's what you have to start treating your business as. Not a low man on the totem pole that gives out free sessions. You are selling a high quality service that is giving your client a great experience.
No, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. I'll tell you what a photographer did to me once. It wasn't the best experience at all. But so I paid the deposit. I did like this part of it. I paid the deposit. And after she took the pictures, she said, I'm going to deduct the session fee.
Yep.
Because if you want to give it free, you can give it free, but you don't have to tell them that up front. And so to me, that was like, even though it wasn't the best experience, The fact was, it was a surprise. It was like, oh, you're going to deduct the session fee and you're going to give me a discount? Okay. It was really nice. It made me feel good, even though it wasn't the best experience. Now, her experience was lacking. It wasn't enough to make me want to go back and do another session with her. But can you imagine, coupled with the experience, and then you're being able to say, after when you present those pictures, we're going to deduct the session fee today and hear, from your cost. That's going to even be a bigger bonus for those guests. And they're
if you pay today.
Right. Yeah. If you pay today, we're going to deduct that session fee. And, that's going to be a bigger bonus, and they're going to really like you. I mean, I just think it's so important, but I would not lead with the session fee is free.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. No, don't say we're waiving the session fee and giving you $100 towards it, because that's what we've been doing.
That's the looky-loos.
You need to lead with the fact that, and I know this is hard. Hey, I'm a single mom of 5 kids. Leading with the fact that, dang, I need this money or I'm going to be kicked out of my house is the people you're attracting. So you have to step into that person that's like, you know what? We're going to be fine. So you do, like Lanisha's taught you, you need to have that self-confidence. And, I'm like the black kettle over here telling you to have self-confidence. But having that self-confidence and saying into yourself, we're going to change their business. The lady who created the Nike swoosh got paid $700. $700 for the most recognizable brand outside of McDonald's in the world. So you just go into there, like, I'm going to create your dang Nike swoosh, I'm going to change your business, because the fact is that your photos will bring them more than your fee in business to them.
No, that's true.
This has been so nice. Ladies, thank you so much. I appreciate your giving Lindsey all of that love, because that's what it was. I mean, it was just an amazing session. Lindsey, anything you'd like to say before we leave? Any final thoughts?
No, just thank you guys so much. This definitely helps a whole lot. It's just one of those things where, like I said, it's the things that I know in my head, like, that I know are true, and then the lies that come. So it's a matter of, like, balancing the two of them and everything and really figuring it out. So this has been super helpful. Thank you guys so much.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And audience, this gives you a really good example of an actual business that's having actual coaching. And definitely, if you like the coaching styles of any of the coaches presented here, definitely reach out to them. All of their information and their business link and their social media links will be on the on the show notes. Definitely reach out to them and check them out, see what they're doing. Yeah. So this wraps our session for today. Thank you so much for showing up, ladies, and really helping Lindsey. Thank you, Lindsey, for being open and honest. And thank you, audience. We'll see you next time on Inspired Women, Amazing Lives podcast. Goodbye. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Inspired Women, Amazing Lives podcast and our special Marriage of Mindset and Marketing segment, where we help women to be truly inspired to live their most amazing lives. Please subscribe to the podcast to be notified of new content weekly. Feel free to like and comment so we can know just how much you enjoyed this special segment of the podcast. And don't forget, share this with the woman who inspires you most. I hope to see you on the next episode. Goodbye.